What is up, YouTube, and welcome again to another episode of Behind the Wall, presented by Perky Jerky. I'm Pro Bowl 43, as always, along with my colleagues, Kane Jr. 88 and Thermite 917. NASCAR action was in Dover for the Monster Mile, and they had the Bar Harbor 200 and the Gander Outdoors 400. So, with the race recap, Kane Jr. 88, fired away.
Thank you, Tyler. Well, we had some drama even before the green flag fell, as Jimmy Johnson, whose atrocious season continues, has an issue with a broken right front lower ball joint. Good freaking God. Well, anyways, he missed the green flag, so he rejoined the field 10 laps down. And Kyle Busch actually started on the pole. His qualifying got rained out. He led the first 15 or so laps before he realized Kevin Harvick had a way faster car. So he just laid over for him and waved him on by so as not to push the issue so early on. That was pretty much it for stage one, as Kevin Harvick dominated the stage. And then on pit road, Joey Logano grabbed the lead, but Chase Elliott was hit with an uncontrolled tire penalty, so he had to start at the tail end of the field. Stage two was pretty much just like stage one. Kevin Harvick whooped everybody's ass and grabbed the stage two win. And then he also kept the lead on pit road, and Kyle Larson, another playoff contender, is busted for speeding on pit road. It was pretty much the same for at least the first part of stage three. Harvick held the lead, but unfortunately that's when the drama started to happen, was because under those pit stops, Kevin Harvick had to make a second stop for a possible loose wheel. It turns out they knocked the valve stem out, so Harvick ends up losing a lap in the process. And Kyle Busch, another of the big three, he gets hit with a speeding penalty. So finally, after this snoozer of a race, we had something interesting happen. And as a result, Aric Almirola, who is still trying to end that 4-year winless drought, he has the race lead. And then lap 340, the first caution for an incident comes out for debris. Brad Keselowski took a gamble and took 2 tires. He wins the race off pit road while everyone else takes 4. And Martin Truex Jr., that's right, all 3 members of the Big Three had some sort of issue on pit road. Truex was caught speeding. And on the ensuing lap 349 restart, Aric Almirola managed to power his way past Keselowski, once again regaining the lead. And it pretty much remained this way for the next 40 or so laps, as then on lap 382, Clint Bowyer has a loose right rear wheel, and his chances of winning have come to an end. But then, apparently, it turns out he broke some kind of an axle. It was a recurring mechanical issue. The crew sends him back out, and what happens? He just slams the wall in turn 3. It's a huge impact. Everybody comes to pit road for a fresh set of tires. A lot of gambling happens under this final stop. Chase Elliott, Brad Keselowski, Martin Truex Jr., they all stay out. Denny Hamlin and Alex Bowman each take 2 tires, and everyone behind them takes 4. And on the ensuing restart, Almirola started 6th. He powered his way to the outside, but then that old turn 2 wall, we know how ugly that can get, especially in our games. He hit the wall off turn 2. He basically glitch spun into Brad Keselowski and triggered a big one that wiped out several playoff drivers. Alex Bowman just slammed into Brad. Martin Truex Jr. got a good piece of it. Ryan Blaney was also involved. And that set up a red flag and a subsequent overtime restart. Everybody stayed out. Chase Elliott, after all of that, was able to hold on to the race lead with Denny Hamlin 2nd, Joey Logano 3rd. Tyler and I honestly thought Chase was a sitting duck, but then for somehow, some way, Chase was able to clear Denny Hamlin in turn 2 and hold on all the way for his 2nd win of the season, and you know damn well what that means. That's right. Dawsonville was going wild once again. The siren at the pool room was sounding, and oh my God, Tyler and I were absolutely going nuts in our chat. So Chase Elliott grabs the win. Denny Hamlin held on for 2nd with Joey Logano 3rd, Erik Jones 4th, Kurt Busch in 5th, Kevin Harvick, Austin Dillon, Kyle Busch, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., and Daniel Suarez round out the top 10. So, gentlemen, this was mostly a snoozer until the final 50-something laps. So, let's hear your reactions. We will start with Thermite.
Well, this might be a little bit generous, but I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10. No matter what, it wasn't going to be more than a 5 because literally half the race was uneventful. The racing wasn't necessarily bad as the high line actually worked and whatnot, but stage 1 and 2 were simply forgettable. But in the final stage, you could feel the intensity start to pick up, and then green flag stops happened, and Harvick had his problem, which handed the lead to Almirola, and we all start to think, today's the day if it stays green, and of course, it doesn't stay green. I feel bad for him, and I don't blame him for pushing so hard. It was just a tough situation. But then, that's when track position got shuffled, which put Chase Elliott up front on the really old tires, and we thought there was no way he was going to hold off Denny, who had like 50 or 60 lap fresher tires, but he actually did it, and it was awesome, and it was a really big win. It doesn't really make up for an otherwise lackluster race, but at least it salvaged it from being completely boring and forgettable, and we're still walking away with something to talk about, so that's always good. So, 5 for me. Tyler?
We'll just take care of something quick. Yeah. Woo! Mike's Hard Lemonade, bitch! Okay, should be a little bit colder. Thanks to these fuckers for having to take their sweet ass time to do this recording, but alrighty! Yeah, let's give it a 6 out of 10. Yes, a little bit higher than Nick. The first 320 laps, forgettable. The last 80, shit hit the fan. So, is it really worthy of 6 points? I think so. A lot happened, really. You went from Kevin Harvick, that just pulling the whole, oh, here's another big 3, dominating the race. You know, we've seen this all year long, and like, oh my god. And then a bunch of light just got thrown into it. You think Eric Almirola's gonna win. Oh, that's gonna be a great story. And then he blows it. And then the big crash on the restart with a lot of playoff implications. You can't really forget about that. And it just totally makes it that much more amped up. Chase Elliott just sneaks in there, grabs one. That's awesome. Obviously, a little bit of bias thrown in there too. And I'm just happy that happened. Either way, you're going to remember it a little bit, despite the fact that over 3/4 of the race sucked. But hey, we're not realistically remembering that as the biggest thing that we take away from this race, so I don't really give a shit. Kane?
I'm going to agree with you. I'm going to give it a 6 as well. If the race had basically stayed the same as it had been and Kevin Harvick had dominated and ended up winning the whole thing, I was probably going to give it like a 3 or a 4. But no, I mean, we had some drama. We had some interesting shit happen. And yeah, those last 80-so laps were definitely some must-see TV. So I'm definitely going to give it a 6 as well.
Thank you, Kane.
Shorter and sweet than that race recap. Yeah, I think we'll move on to that next segment now.
You want to?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, it's time to hand out some awards for the Dover race weekend. And as always, we start with the classic boner of the week. Nick, who's got the Rager?
It goes to Eric Almirola. Pretty obvious this week. The race basically fell into his lap after Kevin Harvick had his problems, but there was the shuffling of track position late in the race, and Almirola started 6th, the outside of row 3. He basically had to make something happen, and he tried to go for it, got a little tight off of turn 2, and caused the big wreck. But I feel like he's not a driver that really steps over the line that much, but he also doesn't have a shot at a win that much. That would have been his first win since 2014 and his second career win. I thought he was smart enough to back it down, pass one car at a time. He had a couple laps to do it, but he panicked and he blew it. Simple as that. But for now, sucks to suck. Next award.
The next award is Melon Madness, and that goes to Ross Chastain. Pretty obvious there. Mr. Melon, yeah, he did miss the chase cutoff, and we're very sad about that, with that 13th place run there at Dover. But hey, we can't forget how much of a badass he truly is. That was a mad-ass move on Matt Tifft. Moved his ass right up the racetrack, clacked into the 60 car, LOL there. But man, Ross really did lay it all out on the line. And with that small team, he's done so much this year. Even though he's not getting a chance to move on, we still just can't forget about how much of a madman he's been behind the wheel this year. So, we're proud of you, Ross. We're sad for you, Ross. But we're surprised, but we're also sad. Again, you're the man. Mr. Mellon, next award.
All right, the next award is Day from Hell! And, oh man, it has been a season from hell for Jimmy Johnson. The ball joint breaks during the pace laps before the race even started. And he had to spend the first 10 laps of the race behind the wall. Yes, pun intended. And then, onto the first round of green flag pit stops, he gets a penalty for pitting outside the box. He has to lose even more laps. He ends up finishing 36th, like 15 or something laps down. Oh my God. who would have thought we'd be saying, can Jimmy Johnson just catch a break? I mean, it's pretty obvious now at this point that he has lost the golden horseshoe that he has made oh so famous. So, moving on to the next award.
Next award is the
Straight Jacket Award!
And it goes to Clint Boyer and the 14 team, mainly the team, because after Boyer had a loose wheel, they sent him back out there without really diagnosing the problem, like maybe something was broke, maybe it was more than just a loose wheel, but nope, they're like, it's good enough, go ahead, man. But what happens, he breaks something even more important, and he slams the wall. In turn, it ultimately ruined Eric Almirola's hopes at a win. I know we said Almirola bottled it, but he wouldn't have been in that position if Boyer didn't bottle it first. So it just sucks that basically the same thing happened at New Hampshire in July. Tony Stewart's not going to be too happy. They're going to have a little bit of a meeting, perhaps, because I'm against team orders like F1, but I'm against stupid decisions that ruin your team's chances as well. Double-edged sword there. Next award.
Yes, now it's time to get into the cigar awards, and we got 2 for the Xfinity Series. First off, Christopher Bell wins once again. Yeah, even though he's an Xfinity-only driver, kind of sick and tired of seeing him win, Christopher. But hey, nice job. 6th win of the season. Led over 100 laps. Another dominant performance. Nice job. See you in the next round. And the last one goes to Spencer Gallagher. He finished 5th. I'm sorry, how? Spencer Gallagher? 5th? Jeez.
He was on drugs.
Perhaps he was, but it was still a good drive. Another top 5. First top 5 since his victory at Talladega. Actually, his 8th top 10 on the season, despite missing those races. It's a real shame he did those chugs, because, man, he might actually be taking a good fight to it in the playoffs. But, I guess roll up another one. Moving on to the Cup Series. Take it away.
All right. Our first Cup cigar, it's pretty obvious. It goes to Chase Elliott, who was absolute money on that last restart. He outran Denny Hamlin on 50-lap older tires and grabbed his 2nd win of the season and obviously his 2nd career win in the Cup Series. And then Denny Hamlin. I mean, who would have thought we'd be giving Denny Hamlin a cigar? Well, this week we are, because he was not a salt shaker. In fact, he finished in 2nd. His best finish so far this season, and heck, even after the race, he gave Chase a little love tap on the cooldown lap, said, "Nice job, buddy. Even though I'm not actually your buddy, I still forgive you, though." He's like, "Oh, yeah, whatever." It's like, whatever. Denny, you get a cigar. Congratulations. Don't choke on it. And moving on to the final cigars, Nick, take it away.
The next cigar goes to Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Again, I gotta say, how? I guess it kind of makes sense because the track is concrete, like Bristol, and he's pretty good there. But that's his first top 10 since the Coke 600. He finished 9th. It was his fourth top 10 of the season as well. I mean, he's not that good of a driver, let's face it. But he squeaked out a top 10 somehow. And even more surprising, I know there was one time during the race where he hit the wall and he didn't get a caution, and he somehow stayed on the lead lap or something and made it work. Stenhouse did a thing. I guess good job, but now we go to Talladega where he's going to mess it up again, so enjoy it while you can. The final cigar is kind of weird because we already said that he had away from hell, but it goes to Jimmy Johnson because before the race, he did a funny thing and he bought a bunch of bikes for Furniture Row Racing after Cole Perrin was joking that to make up for the Bona move at the Roval by taking out Truex, he should get the team some road bikes because they like cycling. He takes it as a joke, and he gets them all children's bikes. And it was hilarious. He put them all up on the hauler, and then when the team got there in the morning, they were like, "Good one, Jimmy, you suck." But they turned it into a good thing and gave the bikes away to some kids that were walking by and turned it into a good situation. It was funny, though, because on the note they left by the bikes, they said they may wheel hop. It was just all in good fun. Nice to see some humor around the garage. So leave it to Jimmy to be a class act as always.
And then Jimmy and Truex actually signed all the bikes too, so that's even more special for those kids.
Good story there.
Yeah.
Get your kids.
But then the race happened.
And both of them had less than ideal days, especially Jimmy.
Yeah, I think that's pretty clear. But, well, that does it for the awards segment. Hey, we'll move on to that next one. See you there. Well, hey, now we're there. So it's time for the best paint schemes of the week. No need for a montage, just 2 quick ones. First off, we're going to start with the Xfinity Series, David Starr. Typically, we talk about bad things related to David Starr, but this one isn't bad. The number 52 car for Jimmy Means Racing. Just a solid-looking paint scheme. You know how those underfunded teams like to crank out solid ones, and this one is absolutely in that category. Everything is going on here. Nice side design, flows well, fits with the sponsor. Hey, that's all you can ask for. Next paint scheme.
Kevin Harvick's Busch Outdoors Ford Fusion. He's run a Busch Outdoors car before, and it was arguably better, but since we don't have many different schemes this week, this one will do. It just looks really outdoorsy, and that was their goal. It kind of actually bugs me the more I look at it. The little hunter people in there, it would have been nice if they just kind of left the trees and the little antelopes or whatever in there. But you know, I'll let it slide. It looks decent. Now we move on to some schemes that suck.
Yes, sir, we do. And once again, we have another Stewart-Haas split scheme atrocity. Clint Boyer's Haas VF1 Rush Truck Centers Ford. But this is the first time this season that Haas and Rush Truck Centers have split the car. Honestly, the base itself is just dull. First of all, it's just a single red box running along the bottom of the car between the wheels. And if that's not bad enough, focus in on the left front and right front wheel arches. Look at that! There's black! Really? I thought NASCAR pretty much outlawed teams from doing that, but oh no, we still got some stragglers out there. And honestly, it makes no sense whatsoever from a paint scheme standpoint. Because the car that Boyer ran earlier this year at Martinsville that he won with, I mean, it's not the best paint scheme out there. I mean, it's something I wouldn't write home about, but it's still, it made sense with Haas as the sponsor. And yet, Stewart-Haas, what do? They go and dumb down an already basic paint scheme. Why? It looks like ass, especially now that you went and made it a split scheme. Jesus, I mean, it's bad enough. You got the diagonal Rush Truck Centers logo. That just looks like ass. Ass! I hate it! God damn it, Stewart-Haas. Stop it! Moving on to the next bad paint scheme. Tyler, take it away.
Oh, I sure will. And if you thought that was bad, this, I'm willing to say it's worse, okay? It's a new paint scheme. William Byron, the Hendrick Auto Guard Chevrolet. This car is plain. It wants to be a Jeff Gordon car. You got your blue. Okay, blue. You can make a nice fucking blue any day of the week. It's not gonna make a good paint scheme. You got your stupid ass A-pillar. Oh boy, there's a fucking surprise. Nope. LOL, it's not. Black. Congratulations, you threw it up there. And you threw it down there on the side skirt. And a little bit there on the quarter panel. You got this random ass white triangle just right across the car. What are you doing there? Makes no sense, flows in no way. You got the white rear end that bleeds onto the quarter panels. You got text for slanted auto guards slapped on the side there. Don't even have the decency to throw Hendrick in again there. It's a wonder that the Twitter NASCAR playoff decal doesn't have the white box behind it. Really, that would have just topped this piece of shit off. Oh, there's one more thing I have to mention about it. And this one dumbs down the 24 number. They have to have a white outline on the 24, which basically sucks in it more than it already does. And it wants to escape. It needs air. But you won't let it! God damn it! I hate this car. I remember when I saw the original render, I'm like, okay, maybe it's not that bad. Then I see it on track. And it's funny, because usually the on-track car is better. No, that is not the case here. Fuck this car. Fuck you, Hendrick. You should see this at the season-ending awards and their specific award, but they have had so many bad cars. It just doesn't matter. This is just
Fucking
in the lot.
Brendan Droppo. Fuck
I don't
him.
even know if he painted this car, but you know what? We're gonna blame him. Damn it, Brendan. You have been to Lowe's so many times, and I understand, you know, Lowe's was a car you painted, so you probably have like a club card there or something, and you get like 30% off every purchase. So at least that's good. but you've had to purchase so many ficuses, you probably know the guy in the green section, like, by name. You probably know his wife. You probably were to their anniversary party. So, just buy another ficus. God damn it.
I'll let it slide. It looks decent.
No, it doesn't.
But, like, seriously, they couldn't run the original Hendrick Auto Guard paint scheme that Mark Martin ran in '07 in the Busch Series. I mean, that was a good car.
I'll let it slide. It looks decent.
This sure does a hell of a lot better than that piece of shit. Oh, God, I'm done with this segment. Alright, now it's time to recap the fantasy results and picks from Dover. And I come out banging with the win after picking Kevin Harvick, who finished 6th and getting 51 points. Kane finishes 2nd, being Mr. Consistent Kane now. Get your freaking Chase Championship. Pick Kyle Busch, finished 8th, got 41 points. Damani picked Martin Truex Jr., who got 15th, getting 31 points. And Nick sucks to suck. Picks the guy that doesn't even start the race. Jimmy Johnson, 36th, 1 point. There's a game named after how many points you earned. Uno! So, Uno, you want to make your selection for Talladega?
Well, this should be less stupid than Dover, so I'm going with a safe pick here. Although maybe not too safe because he's wrecked in the last 3 plate races, but he's still really good at these kinds of tracks. I'm going with Brad Keselowski. Yeah, he's gonna win. Cause, yeah, Damani, who are you picking?
I like smoking pot a lot.
Good luck, you jackass. Kane, you didn't win for once, so who are you picking?
Well, it's Talladega. A Ford is probably going to win. I'm going to go with Joey Logano.
And crashed that piece of shit, then stepped away.
He won there in the spring. He's won 2 of the last 3 fall races at Talladega. So who says he can't do it again and advance himself even further in the playoffs? Tyler, who's your pick?
I'm going to make a bold one here because he's typically not known for his plate racing, but he really needs a solid result in these next 2, and I'm not so sure, maybe even a win. So he's going to be gunning for it. I'm going to go with Young Money, Kyle Larson. Yeah, that's right. Get your credit 1-1 to go. You better be leading with 1 to go. And you better be leading with 0 to go. So good luck with that, Kyle. That does it for fantasy. Well, this has been another episode of Behind the Wall presented by Perky Jerky. We appreciate you for listening, as always. So, for the Money HD, never here, doesn't deserve to be mentioned. Still love him. For Kane Jr. 88, he edited this episode. I hope to say good job, Kane. We'll just leave that up to fate. For Thermite 917, he screwed up a lot. You'll hear that shortly. And for myself, Pro Bowl 43, gotta mention it one last time. Chase Elliott won, damn it! Oh, you don't like him too fucking bad. Deal with it. I hope you were pissed. That's right, I'm speaking to you, YouTube listener, 12-year-old. Grow up.
Maybe you're not. It looks decent.
That's the more mature 17-year-old. So, okay, be more like that guy. I don't know, life lessons here at the end of Behind the Wall. So, again, thank you for listening. This has been Behind the Wall. You've been Behind the Wall. Napa know-how. We'll see you next time.
I like when I have pop in it's in the styrofoam cups. I hope your mics get so warm it catches on fire.
Boy, I don't know why I laughed at a joke so weak.
And then Kevin Harvick. Oh crap!
Thank you for that lovely recap, first of all. But I am.
I hope you enjoyed it.
I did.
Bitch.
I'm trying to think what to. I'm like all thrown off now. And then there was a
Are you bottling it, or did Eric do it?
I guess so.
Boner.
And there was the shuffling of. God! And then there was a shuffling of track position.
Get better.
Oh my god. I was fine. You kept saying something.
Oh, sure. Blame Tyler.
Yeah, blame me for the fact that you screwed it up twice, and then I said something because you made it hilarious. Get better.
Oh my. It goes to Eric Almirola, pretty obvious.
I knew it was coming.
Oh, I hate you.
Hate you more. Wait sub!
9 grains.
Yeah.
Leave it to
And
Jimmy to
then-
be a. Shut up!
God
For 1 second!
Yeah.
What?
What? Did we all just turn into Tim the Toolman Taylor?
We gotta stop.
I think we do. Just stop it.
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing at this point?
Moving on.
I don't think so, Kane.
We already moved on. I bet 78 episodes and we're still looking like a bunch of jackasses here. The damn outtakes.
That's what the people want.
Goddamn right.
The people, being the three of us, and then the random stragglers that listen to this. Thank you, stragglers.
Thanks, Darius. And Mama.
It's very simple. Crop. If you need to zoom in on the wheel arches, crop it. You will have photograph. Crop photograph.
Fine, I'll do that. I'll do that now.
No, you're not. Whoa, whoa. That is not an HD picture. That is not HD. You will get HD later, and you crop it then. Settle down now. Delete.
Those are
Fuck's
so-
sakes.
You're like, and you will crop it. Click. No, not yet.
Why did I drink water while you were laughing and I was laughing?
You record that part because you're gonna have to put that in an outtake.
It's recorded. Hold on, let me make a joke.
Hold on, let me make a joke. That was hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I was thinking about a joke. You know what?
You were thinking.
The joke realistically is, you picked a guy that didn't start the race. Get your ball joint.
That's what a car sounds like when it doesn't have a ball joint.
Alright, let's finish this shit up.
What the fuck?
I hope your other
Okay.
ACL gets torn.
I hope
Well,
your mic
damn you!
tears your ACL because it's
I'm
too
not-
warm.
No. I mean, the only way my ACL is gonna be warm is if I'm in bed with your wife, but should have done a better job, Nick.
Well, this has been
No,
Behind
it's
the
not.
Wall.
You don't
Presented
have
by Behind the
outro.
Wall. Tyler is an asshole.